It's 6:04 a.m. and we're about to start our morning workout this morning. My name is Toby. I am 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do that by minding my sleep, 7 to 9 hours a night, minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. I try to eat about 120 grams of protein, stay at the same weight overall in life. I try to do a strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training, and today is a strength day. On top of that, I try to spend time with people I love and care about, try to do things that I enjoy, and try to have a generally stress-free life. Like I said, I'm 40 years old, and this is not about the way I look. This is about the way I feel. I want to feel fit and competent and capable for whatever life might throw at me. And that could be any variety of things throughout the week and during the day. Basically, I have understood that we are going to live longer, but we're not going to be healthier towards the end of our life. In fact, we're going to probably experience quite a bit of disease and discomfort if we're not careful. The nice thing about that is that apparently if we do make some lifestyle changes, if we do invest in our overall health and fitness, we're going to have a longer, healthier life, which means that we'll have less to worry about towards the end, more health span and lifespan. So that's what I'm working towards at 40, towards 50, 60, 70, 80, and who knows, maybe even 90 or 100 given recent advances in technology. So that's something you're interested in. You go ahead, check out my channel, and we can continue the conversation. We're good just the way we are. We've got to allow ourselves before we can move on. And I always say this because I think sometimes on a fitness journey, whether that is weight loss, weight gain, weight maintenance, getting stronger, getting bigger, being more conditioned for whatever sports event you were trying to do, or just generally for life, all fitness goals are valid and personal and, things that we can approach or pursue in different stages of our life. But it's being kind to the person today who's trying to become who you want yourself to be tomorrow. It's probably going to go a long way because that helps us stay motivated. There are enough people out there who want to put us down. We don't have to do that to ourselves. Let's try to lift ourselves up, all right? And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I am going to turn on the timer. We are going to warm up, and then we are going to get started. We're going to start off with deadlifts and overhead presses, heavy ones at that. I'm just making sure that during the warm-up we are checking in with many different aspects of our bodies to understand how we're moving, and if there are any things that might require special attention on a day like today. But as far as I can tell, we're doing just fine in this department. So what have you been up to this week? I know it's getting closer and closer to Christmas, or the holiday season. And you might celebrate this, you might not celebrate this. Where I live, everything is slowly winding to a halt. We are slowly getting ready for a big holiday. And that holiday is going to be filled with social engagements. And already in the lead up to the holiday, you can see that there are a lot of small social engagements, lunches, dinners, office parties, and trying to keep up with the schedule throughout flu season as well is just going to be a challenge, especially if you're like me and it's not just your job, but you also have sick toddlers to worry about. Make sure that they're doing all right. And the thing about being ill or caring for people who are ill is that they are also not sleeping well, and that sometimes means that you don't sleep well. So that makes you more prone to catching a bug yourself, right? Because that's the way it works. So when we think about this, we're still warming up, by the way. When we think about this period, it's important to realize that it's maybe a bit stressful and a bit busy, and that we need to be quite kind to ourselves. And remind ourselves that we are going to try to keep going and to be as consistent as we can, but that our ability to be consistent and our ability to show up into the work also depends on the social and environmental context that we live in. And if that context at the moment means that we are busy with a lot of social engagements because that is the demand of our career, of our social life, then that's what we've been working towards for most of the year. And if we get ill, then we need to take it easy. And nothing bad's going to happen if we've showed up for 300 days to do the work. So just keep that in mind. All right. Now, we have the deadlift to set up and the press right there. So if that's something you're interested in discussing or something that you can relate to, you go ahead, leave a comment in chat, say hi, and we can talk about it, right? Sometimes we try to push ourselves too hard, and that is not necessary at all, because what we're trying to accomplish is to be healthy and fit overall over extended periods in life. And that sometimes means that it's okay to take a break. There we go. One set down. First 2 minutes. So, how are you experiencing these holidays? Are you able to kick back, chill, and relax? Or do you also notice that you need a break from the break, so to speak? And either way is fine, as long as you are aware of it. Because awareness already tremendously enhances our ability to manage what's going on. In life. Just keep that in mind as well. And one more. So that's one of the things that's on my mind. And I think, fortunately, a year of working out consistently, calmly, and investing in my general health and fitness allow me to have a bit more resistance to the bugs that are going around now. This is just something to keep in mind as well. If you get a bug, you get a bug. You're going to be sick. That's all you can do about it. The spaghetti artist. Hello. Thank you for dropping by, saying hi. I hope you're doing well where you are in the world, and I appreciate you taking the time to come by and to say hello. Hope you're doing well today where you are in the world. I hope life is treating you well in general. It's 6:20 a.m. where I'm at. We're doing a slightly intense program today with heavy kettlebells. While we talk, about life and fitness in general. And for those of you watching, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. In order to do that, I mind my sleep, I mind what I eat, and mind what I sleep, how much I sleep, I mind what I eat, and I try to do strength conditioning and mobility training with kettlebells. Now, if that's something you're interested in, we're taking a minute of break. By the way, if that's something you're interested in, then, you can go ahead, check out my videos and my channel, and we may be able to continue this conversation, because there are certain challenges to getting and staying fit at 40. I've been at this for a while now, and I think sometimes we forget, and it's hard to realize when we're in the middle of it that as we age, the return on the investment in our health and fitness changes, and we can get a lot out of it, but we need to be mindful of how we train, how much we train, and like I just said, how we sleep and eat in order to make the most of the cards we're dealt. So, I'm going to move on to some 12 kilogram snatches. That's always fun. It's fun to be able to do that with a 12 kilogram, 5 times lift, 5 times right. We're trying to work our way up to 10 times left, 10 times right in the minute. This full body strength workout with kettlebells. And as you can see, you can get a lot done with relatively simple equipment. All right. Third set. Juke Productions. Hello, Juke Productions. Good morning. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I hope you're doing well where you are in the world. I hope you're having a good morning and a good end of the year, or at least the final stretch of the year. Now, friends, remember, the Snatch is not a beginner exercise. I've worked my way up to it with just 12 kilo over the course of a year, so it's not one that you just pick up and start doing. If you're interested in some kettlebell basics, check out some of my tutorials on how to start building the basic conditioning and strength to work with progressively heavier and heavier kettlebells, and also link to some good videos. Underneath those. All right. One more set, because we're working up to 10. So that was 5. Now we're at 6. And Briggs, what? Briggs, you just made my day. Thank you so much for rolling by and saying hi. And I appreciate you coming in and making me smile. And I hope you're well. Wherever you are in the world. And a minute break. Because we're doing rows and double squats next. And I think that's my friend YouTube Punk. Is that right? That is right. Hey buddy, how are you doing? You doing all right? How's life in Texas? I hope you're doing well. And I hope life is treating you good. Oh, all right. Somehow I don't think that's a particularly good thing. But you tell me if I'm mistaken. How's the workout going? How's the new program working out for you? Mel B. Hey, Mel B. Good morning. Welcome back. Thanks for dropping by again. I hope you're well, and I hope you're doing good where you are in the world. We're doing a bit of strength training today with the kettlebells, and we were talking about how easy or hard it is to maintain a rhythm in this part of the year. I've already told you that I have a bit of a hard time with the weather, specifically the gloom that it gets to my mood. Well, the cold makes it easier to want to stay in bed and sleep, those kinds of things. And then also, all of the social engagement and a bit of the end of year stress that you get to, that comes up and that pops up in the world. We've got quite a way to go still. And also just being mindful of the fact that sleep is probably our superpower. That if we sleep better, we're going to be better able to cope with a lot of the things that life throws at us around the holiday season. We need to eat well. We're trying to remember our week, right? Losing where our day has been discouraging. Oh my gosh, in chat. Yeah, sure, go ahead, man. That's completely fine. I'll take a look. I'd be curious to see what kind of program he offers. And I empathize with the trouble that bringing the end of year and an erratic schedule brings to our workout program. Actually, let's start a little poll around how easy or hard it is. It's a bit harder to keep work as the days get darker and darker. Let's see if anyone feels like answering that chat. KB Frit, KB, Brit Fit, who's Dutch, by the way, and she's awesome. I learn a lot from her videos. She's like a kettlebell champion or something, I believe, and has a lot of experience and has really good programs. Oh, it's not Brittany. Oh, it's almost the same name. Oh, sorry about that. Well, she's worth checking out. Cameron Bennett, KB Fit. Okay, sorry, my bad. Well, I will have to check that out and see what his channel is about. Thanks for sharing this journey. Always gets better when we learn from other people and what they're doing online. And we're going to the squats, 24 kilos. It doesn't seem like much, but at the moment it's quite a bit. And what about his program do you find so good and interesting? YouTube punk, let us know what because it's very well catered to your need. Is it because it's adjusted to exactly the right level for you to be able to follow along with? What is it about the program that seems to work for you? You can let us know as we're training. And for those of you who just dropped by, said hi, go ahead, say hi in the chat. answer the poll. It's something that's on my mind. And nice to know if it's on your mind as well. My name is Toby. For new viewers, I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. It's 6:35 a.m. I'm usually up early, turn on the stream, and I do my morning routine. I try to sleep well, between 7 and 9 hours on a day. I try to eat well and healthy. Try to avoid poor quality foods, but most importantly, excessive calorie consumption, so that my weight stays stable, and I try to eat between 120 and 150 grams of protein in a day. Together with that, I focus on strength training, mobility training, and conditioning training at home, predominantly with a kettlebell. And that mix, hopefully, is going to keep me healthy, fit, capable, and competent for an extended period of life. And we're just going to clean this up, because we are about to move to some basic two-handed kettlebell swings, heavy, 5 sets of 5, and we're moving to the end of the workout. It's about as close as healthy, so shape, fall out himself. I think that is, we're taking a 1-minute break, by the way. I think that is absolutely fantastic, that you can help the people you love and care about get them into better shape. Because I think one of the, and better health, I think shape isn't even that important as in how they look, but shape as in general health and fitness. Absolutely. Because we know that the moment we stop doing things, we start to stop doing more and more and more things. And that has everything to do with our strength, our conditioning, and our mobility, playing low by the floor, going out for walks, being able to lift our own suitcase overhead when we travel. All those little things start to add up to a life where our circle of activities becomes smaller and smaller. And if there's one thing that I would like for us to be able to do for a longer period of time, is to actually stay stronger, stay competent, and capable of doing more physically challenging and demanding things through life, because that's how we're going to make the most of the life we have. So just keep that in mind, think about that as you're watching this video, as you're interested in fitness and health and kettlebell. Maybe you're not 40, I was 30, I was 20 at one point in my life. Believe me, when I was 20, health and fitness was relatively easy. Even when it disappeared, it came back. In my 30s, I realized how hard it was to actually get back into shape. So I made it a point, out of on my way to 40, to try to be as consistent as possible and develop the skills, means, and knowledge to actually stay in as good physical, mental, emotional, financial shape that I could. Yeah, I guess next week, it's the end of the year. On Sunday, we'll do a reflection on the 4 areas of life that I try to monitor actively, right? That's health, it's relationships, that's the opportunities, and that's the pursuits that I have in life. And the combination of the wheel the combination of that wheel is kind of what will make up the balance of how well I'm doing, how well I feel, and how overall healthy I am, and how much time and energy, resources I'm able to invest in my general health and fitness. I think it's a foundation, but it's only a foundation built on the foundation of financial security and stability, right? By no means very rich. I have a very average job with a somewhat average income, but I remember what it was like when that wasn't the case, and how hard it was to focus. And one more set, and we're going to be done. To focus on general health and fitness because of that. So just keep that in mind, friends. There are many factors to life. Being healthy and fit, staying healthy and fit, building a routine, being generally content and happy with the state of your life, maybe not the state of the world, state of your life. It requires skills, knowledge, investment of time and energy, patience, reflection. Nothing worthwhile comes easy in life, I guess what I'm trying to say. And that's why I'm also a happy YouTube punk, because you may have noticed that my schedule has been quite erratic lately. Sad. I'm happy to be back at 6 a.m. today and to be able to do a workout at my regular time that is also complete and full and not squeezed into 10 minutes or lacking of conversation with all of you on chat. Let's see, how's the poll doing? For half of the people who voted, it is harder, and for half of the people, it's not harder. Go ahead, let me know if you're watching whether winter makes it easier or harder for you to work out as I do this last set of swings with the 20 kilo. And that's it, friends. We are done for today. So let's just chat very briefly about new habits. As you can see, I have my glass of water here, where one of the 4 habits that's going to help us understand how easy or hard it will be in 2024 for us to get healthier and fitter. It's relatively straightforward, right? Spoiler alert. That's funny. So a couple of weeks ago, actually a bit over a month ago, we started talking about the end of year and how a lot of influencers and creators are starting to make movies. This is how you're going to get healthy in 2025. This is your path to health. Try my program, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, discounts, and everyone's trying to sell you something. And they're all selling workouts. And here's the thing, where are you going to fit the workout into your week? And 2 is working out really the crucial path to better health and fitness and longevity. I have a slightly different opinion, and I think the basics are actually relatively straightforward, and you don't need some expensively discounted program, whether it's with kettlebells or anything else, to actually do it. It's about minding your sleep, minding what you eat, and making sure you move varied and often in different ways throughout the week, and trying to sometimes get your heart rate up over 60-70% of its max. And that's about it. The way we started to do that, if we started to think about, well, how easy or hard is it to adopt small new behaviors, the first of which was trying to add a glass of water to our daily routine with the following conditions. 1 glass of water, same time every day. Be consistent for a week. If you're consistent for a week, be consistent for the second week as we add on more. Why? Because doing something new, like drinking a glass of water, is actually relatively difficult when you look at your full day routine. You've got your habits, you've got your automatic routine, and you're just doing most of the things related to sleep and food and working out on autopilot, whether you realize it or not. So putting in the conscious effort, first of all, shows how hard it is to adopt one small new behavior. That's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is finding time. So then we decide, well, can we find 10 minutes in a day to actually start walking? We don't do any intense exercise. We park the car a few minutes further away from the office, so we have to walk to the office, walk back to the car, or we take a walk around the block before we get in the car or on the public transport for a commute, or we, during lunch break, before we go out for lunch or sit down for lunch, we take a 10-minute walk, and try to find a time slot where you can fit those 10 minutes into your day. And we realize that generally our days are pretty packed, so there are demands from work or from family or from other commitments that make it quite hard for us to find 10 minutes in a day to even exercise. The trick is, though, if you can find 10 minutes, you can probably find 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Then we started to talk about sleep, and that's the third habit that we were trying to address as well. What does our evening look like, and how well are we preparing for getting a good night's sleep? Because above everything else, if we can get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep, and closer to 9 is definitely better, suddenly our health is going to dramatically improve for magical reasons. Sleeping more and sleeping better is a key to better health that we often overlook. It's also the only time where our body really regenerates and grows stronger. So all the strength training doesn't really pay off if you're not able to sleep properly. Just keep that in mind, right? But how do we get to sleep? So how do we find 15 minutes before bed? What is our routine right now, and how can we improve that routine? How can we wind down? How can we be calm and ready for sleep when we finally get to bed? And then the fourth habit, we talked about eating patterns. And you see, like, it's the fourth habit after sleep and after just even realizing how to change our behavior. How do we actually get to eat differently? Because a lot of our food is also done on autopilot. So the only challenge we had there is to add 1 portion of protein, about 20 grams of protein, so that's what, like 100 grams of chicken breast or some tofu or something else, to our daily diet. Could be breakfast, could be lunch, could be dinner, doesn't matter, as long as we're adding that 1 extra protein. And that will make us think about, well, what do we buy when we go to the supermarket? Where do we get our food? How much protein is actually in the meal that I'm eating at the moment? And how can I plan better? And you start to see that building a habit, trying on something new, finding time to do anything, whether that's exercising, winding down, or preparing food, sleeping better so that we have the energy and focus throughout the day to make the most of our health and fitness, and then actually making changes to key parts of our day, like our diet, which we are already doing, so we're not adding anything extra, we're just changing something in the time we're already spending on food, are difficult challenges. And if you can do those 4 things, and you can find a way to consistently drink more water, but just make small changes in life, you can find time to consistently add 10, 20, 30 minutes of extra movement to your day, and you can find a time to start to sleep better looking at the time you have to wake up, counting back 8 hours, and then adding 30 minutes to that to give yourself enough time to wind down. And then start to eat differently and better. Well, life might take an interesting turn for the better in terms of health and fitness. But that's just my experience and the way I look at it. You might look at it differently. For those of you who are watching right now, thanks for watching. My name's Toby. I'm 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I do that because I have small kids. I do that because I know that I'm going to grow older. And I would like to have a lot of health at the end of my life, but I also would like to be able to now keep up and play with my kids, whether they're playing on the floor or whether they're going out and doing all kinds of sports. It's nice for them to know that their dad can keep up with them somewhat, at least for the next 10 to 15 years. And then they'll outpace me, I'm sure of it. I do that by minding my sleep, minding what I eat. Try to sleep 7 to 9 hours a night, try to eat 120 grams of protein every day, 150 grams, try to stay at the same weight by eating within my energy balance. I try to do strength training, conditioning training, and mobility training, as you saw this morning. Now, if any of that is interesting to you, you go ahead and check out my channel, like, subscribe, and we can continue the conversation. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look, friends, all right? Now, the Spaghetti Goddess, Duke Productions, Briggs, YouTube Punk, Mel B. Thank you all for dropping by and saying hi. I appreciate you saying hi in the chat, answering the poll. It's been a great workout this morning. It's 6:50. I'm going to have a cup of coffee. We're going to get on with the day. I think one of my kids is sitting and watching cartoons now, so I'm going to see what he's up to. Remember, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done, friend, is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel. Take care and be well.